It was a cold, dreary night in late October. The kind of night where the darkness seems to press in from all sides, and the wind whispers secrets you'd rather not hear. I remember it like it was yesterday, though it's been 5 years since that night on the train. Even now, as I recount this tale, I feel a chill creep up my spine and my hands start to tremble. I was taking the last train home after a long day at the office. The station was eerily quiet, with only a handful of weary travelers waiting on the platform. As the train pulled up, its headlights cutting through the fog like twin beacons, I felt a sense of unease settle over me. I boarded the nearly empty train, choosing a seat in the middle of the carriage. The fluorescent lights flickered overhead, casting strange shadows across the worn seats. As we pulled away from the station, I settled in for the hour-long journey home, pulling out my phone to distract myself from the oppressive silence. About 20 minutes into the ride, I looked up from my screen and froze. The carriage, which had held a few other passengers when we departed, was now completely empty. But that wasn't what sent ice through my veins. No, it was the personal belongings left behind. A briefcase on one seat, a half-empty coffee cup on another, a child's backpack abandoned in the aisle. I blinked hard, convinced I must be seeing things. But when I opened my eyes, the scene remained unchanged. The train rattled on through the night, but inside that carriage, time seemed to stand still. My heart began to race as I slowly stood up, my legs shaking beneath me. I called out, my voice sounding small and frightened in the empty space. "Hello? Is anyone there?" No response, just the rhythmic clacking of the train on the tracks. I made my way down the aisle, carefully stepping around the discarded items. A newspaper lay open on one seat, the ink still fresh. A pair of glasses rested on another, as if their owner had simply vanished mid-sentence. As I reached the end of the carriage, I placed my hand on the door leading to the next one. I hesitated, fear gripping my heart. What if the entire train was empty? What if I was alone, hurtling through the night with no one at the controls? I took a deep breath and pushed open the door. The connecting passage between carriages was dark, the usual safety lights extinguished. I fumbled for my phone, using its weak glow to light my way. As I stepped into the next carriage, I let out a small gasp. It too was deserted, more personal items scattered about like some bizarre museum exhibit. A woman's purse, its contents spilled across a seat. A man's jacket draped over a headrest, still warm to the touch. I moved faster now, my breath coming in short, panicked gasps. I ran through carriage after carriage, each one as empty as the last. Where had everyone gone? How was this possible? Finally, I reached the front of the train. The door to the driver's compartment loomed before me, a final barrier between me and the truth. With trembling hands, I grasped the handle and pulled. The compartment was empty. The controls blinked and whirred, but there was no one at the helm. The train was driving itself through the night, carrying its lone passenger to an unknown destination. I stumbled backward, my mind reeling. This couldn't be happening. It had to be a dream, a hallucination, anything but reality. That's when I heard it. A soft sound, barely audible over the noise of the train. It was coming from behind me, back the way I had come. I turned slowly, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might burst from my chest. There, at the far end of the carriage, stood a figure. It was tall and thin, its proportions all wrong, like a child's drawing come to life. Its head was tilted at an impossible angle, face hidden in shadow. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I could only watch as the figure began to glide towards me, its feet never touching the ground. As it drew closer, I could make out more details, skin pale as moonlight, fingers unnaturally long and sharp. When it was just a few feet away, it stopped. Slowly, agonizingly, its head began to tilt forward. I wanted to run, to scream, to do anything but stand there. But I was paralyzed, trapped in this nightmare. The face that was revealed will haunt me for the rest of my days. It was featureless, smooth as glass, with only a wide, gaping mouth filled with rows of needle-like teeth. And then it spoke, its voice a rasping whisper that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Welcome," it said, "to the midnight train. Your final destination awaits." I don't remember what happened next. I woke up in my bed, drenched in sweat, convinced it had all been a terrible dream. But when I looked down, I saw a train ticket clutched in my hand, a ticket for a journey I had no memory of taking. I've never ridden the train again. I've moved to a new city, far from any railway lines. But sometimes, late at night, I swear I can hear the distant whistle of a train. And in my dreams, I'm back in that empty carriage, hurtling through the darkness towards an unknown fate. So if you ever find yourself on a late-night train and the carriage suddenly empties around you, don't investigate. Don't try to find out where everyone went. Just close your eyes, hold on tight, and pray that when you open them again, you're back in the world you know. Because some mysteries are better left unsolved, and some trains are best left unboarded. Remember, the next time you hear that whistle in the night, it might not be carrying commuters home. It might be the midnight train coming to collect its next passenger. And once you're on board, there's no getting off.